Well, hey. Don't go nowhere. Thanks for tuning in. It's the Shlicketty DooCast. I'm your host, Aaron Forsyth. And guess what? Before we do the old throw, let's do the throw. Let's get it out of the way. This is what it is. Oh my gosh. Calamity in action. Oh, we're gonna have to call an HR here. Aaron's getting a little out of control. But I tell you what, I got my buddy who's coming up in the elevator. I think I hear him now. Do I hear him now? It's Mike Anderson.
Wait.
Where is that? Where's that noise? What's that noise? He's fixing things. Is he there?
Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, they got stuck. The doors got stuck. Is it working right? You got me? Are you receiving me, Houston? Over. Roger, copy.
I can't hear you, Mike. I got an ear infection. Well, I have an ear infection. I'm going to go into a rant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have an ear infection.
I've got rants up the RantCast. This is a RantCast. This is a Shlicketty RantCast.
It's been a while since we did an episode because we did early for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But boy, has it been an adventurous week or two.
It was funny. I was watching last week's episode. It's called Uttermilk, and I was watching. We filmed it before Thanksgiving, and it's funny. Oh, we don't know what the weather's going to be like. We don't know what's going on. Hoopity. Well, I traveled for the holidays. I got out of town. I was out here.
Yeah, you were down south.
I went to old Virginia.
Mid-Atlantic.
Newport News, Virginia, right on the coast there. And you stayed back here. I guess apparently while I was gone, snowmageddon hit.
Yeah, it hath begun. Winter came all over the place.
I had 55 degree, 60, almost 60 degree weather. I was just sitting there with a cup of coffee on a porch, enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, it's the same in Cleveland, I heard, too. Mm-hmm. Cleveland had no trouble.
Yeah, lake effects. So if you ever do any research, Lake Erie lake effects, no, you're not from around here, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it's snowmageddon, and if you want to check your stats, go on the Goog there and check it out because Erie, PA, we hit the record again this year.
It's nuts.
It's always us or Rochester or Anchorage, Alaska.
Or Buffalo, yeah. Buffalo got slammed real bad a couple of years ago, I remember.
I think they got slammed again this year.
Yeah, probably.
Our Buffalo friends. Hi, Buffalo.
Yeah, they're probably getting the same as us, yeah.
Yeah. We passed up Anchorage, Alaska, which is always funny because everyone goes, Anchorage, Alaska. Yeah, we have more snow than Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah, and it's only the first snowing of the season.
Yeah. And the reason being our lake didn't freeze over like usual yet. So we had warm water mixed with cold air coming from the Arctic over it.
And so I saw on the weather websites that they were saying that above Greenland, there was a polar vortex that had stopped moving. So it was just sitting there churning. And so it was taking all this cold air and whipping it down through Canada, right down around the Great Lakes.
Wow.
That's what just kept feeding into it.
Greenland.
Yeah.
What's in Greenland anyway? Is it just like sheep fields?
Ice.
Fields of mountains of sheep?
No. Greenland is full of ice. Iceland is all green.
Yeah.
The Vikings named them opposites just to trick people.
Huh. They did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. There might be lack of people there. I don't know how they got away. Wasn't Trump going to buy Greenland at one point? they rolled their eyes at that one. Yeah, we're not for sale. But yeah, so I go down south, get this. All right. Well, mini rants along the way, but all while I'm leaving, I'm like, and building up to it, this ear has been gooky. And I've been, it sounds like you're underwater, and you go, okay, I'm underwater, Q-tip it.
That's the problem, is the Q-tip.
Well, I was getting itchy and I thought it was allergies, perhaps fluid buildup, blah, 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 taking my allergy pills, trying to fight whatever. Well, I must have got some dirt in there and then I get to, when we're driving there, we get to a higher elevation point, probably around the south side of Pittsburgh, into the mountains, into the West Virginia mountains. Pop, elevation pop. I'm like, all right, elevation pop. It's going to go back though. Well, we get back down to sea level, it doesn't pop, and it's cuckoo.
So it's like closed itself off, where you can hear your heartbeat, you can hear your...
Oh, even now, I can hear myself talk. Like at one point I was going, I was humming, and I could hear myself hum reverberating in my head.
Inside your head, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Which is a weird sensation. Wasn't minding it though. Wasn't really hurting per se. I'm eating Advil like crazy just to stop whatever could happen. Then I get down there.
Just to stop whatever could happen.
Yeah, you know, preventative maintenance. Always do Advil.
I don't think that it works that way.
Well, I do the Advil, Charlie. I got to do the Advil. You got to get in on the Advil game.
Why? What, daily? Like an aspirin?
No. Just whenever you think something's about to happen.
You know what I do whenever I think something's about to happen? I start taking the multivitamin.
The multivitamin.
I always slack off on the multivitamin. I should take the multivitamin every day.
You gotta let that shit build.
Is that what it is?
I think it does. I think you've got to keep it circulating, like I do with the loratadine. That allergy medicine?
Yeah, that's Claritin. Yeah, the loratadine.
I eat one a day just to keep it in your system going because it won't work right away.
No, it takes forever to kick in.
Right.
That's
so
why
I keep one going. I put that in my little pill case with my Unithroid and stuff.
Yeah, I switched to the fexofenadine, which is the Allegra. It's much faster.
That's what
I hear.
Because
I'd be like, because out in Arizona, I was like allergic to the grass. So I'd be out there mowing. If I was mowing, and like you hit a big dirt patch, it's like, so it blows up in your face, man. Oh, it's just nonstop sneezing.
Yeah.
Pop a fexofenadine, it'll knock it out in 10 minutes.
Well, was the thing that was making me think my ear problem was allergy driven. Okay, all summer I'm mowing, and I'm like, look at this weird little spiny thing. Or look at my weeds seemed different this year. My ecosystem was changing. Mutating echo chamber. Yeah, and I was seeing things like weird little viney sharp things, and I'm like, wow, that's new. I've been mowing this lawn for 7 years here, and this is shiny, this is...
Has it been 7 years there already?
Yeah, seventh year.
That's nuts.
And so there we go, and I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe it's some kind of new allergy I'm getting. It's going into my ear. Maybe it's, So I get down there, but...
Do you think like you were digging in the dirt and then you rubbed your ear?
I don't even know what I was doing, but basically it got infected. So then I'm like, all right. So we get to the day after Thanksgiving, I eat the turkey, I nap, I watch the game, I yell racial epitaphs. I'm going crazy. I'm having a good, no, I'm not. And then there we go. I was like, at night, we're sleeping on an air mattress in a spare room, which here goes rant number 1, the air mattress.
I've never really slept on an air mattress. I don't know that I can. I think I would rupture them. I think they're only designed to hold up to a certain amount of weight or something.
Well, yeah, and her and I, which was like, if she moved, I would go, we were seesawing the whole night. Yeah, it was like, definitely like a waterbed.
Wow.
And then when you're on a wooden floor, but it's raised up, so you're not touching the wooden floor, but you know that cold is kind of, you can feel the essence of the cold.
Yeah, you can feel it radiating up.
you know. But by the time you get to morning, you can almost lean down hard and there's the wood, because you're losing pressure through the course of the night. The air mattress stinks.
Yeah.
Every house has one. I think the air mattress is only, you got to buy it fresh out of the box. It works. These folks, God bless their hearts, they're great eggs, but the air mattress, they probably had it for 10 years. So I guarantee you it's something to it.
So did the air mattress have its self-inflator?
Yeah, it's got like a loud motherfucker too. It's like a little, it hooks up. Yeah, it's like a little square.
It's a little air compressor.
Yeah, you plug it in. Yeah, the air mattress stinks, but you got to do what you got to do. So there I am. I'm getting jostled around at night, and my ear and my pressure in my head's going, ugh. And then it's sinking into my jaw. I'm feeling like my jaw. I got punched in the jaw, and I'm
if you got an infection, it's replicating in there.
Shit's going down. Yeah,
it's applying
like,
pressure.
This isn't right.
Yeah.
So then I'm eating more Advil. And here we go. We go to the next day. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to the emergency room day after Thanksgiving. I'm going to Emergicare. They have like their own version of Newport News Emergicare.
100%. Yeah.
I got to say, these folks were on it. The place is clean as a whistle. There's people there waiting to get in, but they sign you in. Hey, everybody, come on in. What's your insurance? Sit down. We'll take a thing. Totally organized. No weirdos whatsoever. Everybody's on it. Everybody's pleasant. Well, no, actually, they're straight business. But here's the thing I noticed. Now, I don't know if it's me getting old, but the front desk ladies are all probably about my age, a little older, in their 50s and 60s, late 40s. But the doctors that keep coming out and they go, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Johnson, and the ones that keep coming out the door to call you back.
The patient care coordinators.
Oh yeah, young. I'm like, all right, who let in Johnny intern over here?
Well, that probably is, part of like an intern training thing,
Maybe. Well, I get back there. They're like, all right, go to the room, undress, put your thumb in your ass. No, just go to the side room, and there you are. And I'm in the side room waiting. Young kid comes in, this kid's like Doogie Howser. I'm like, how? I almost want to ask, how old are you, dude? He was like, yeah, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, looks like you. Looks in there, he goes, yeah, you got swimmer's ear. You ever hear of swimmer's ear? I was like, I got swimmer's ear.
Yeah.
And I haven't been swimming, but whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Get these steroid drops, plop, plop, plop. Please, fizz,
Steroid
fizz.
drops, wow.
Yeah, it's like steroids mixed with some kind of fucking antibiotic. It's like a cocktail of 3 that goes in your ear. But 4 times a day. They give you the drops. I got the girlfriend pressing my head against the ground. Stop screaming.
For swimmer's ear, they used to have a product called swimmer's ear. You put 3 drops in and it would actually dry it out.
Oh, I wanted it to dry out because it's kind of wet and it kind of always, it always feels like there's some, like I just got out of the fucking pool.
He didn't tell you to flush it out or anything?
No, they didn't say anything about it. I could have read the directions, but I don't read directions very well. So there I go. I got the swimmer's ear. And to this hour, I've been putting them in 4 times a day, and it's been a week and a half. And it's still clogged, but my swelling's gone down for sure. It doesn't hurt as well as it.
Yeah.
But it's a slow cure here. So there's a rant number 1. Medicine stinks, but I gotta say, I gotta give no jeers, I'm giving cheers to the Newport News Emergent Care System. And thumbs up to my old Blue Cross Blue Shield for
That's that whole Tidewater, Yorktown area there on the peninsula. That whole area, I mean, there's so many people down there with like Norfolk and Newport News.
Yes, a lot of Norfolk. Yeah, I was asking. I was like,
and even in Williamsburg, you got the College of William and Mary.
Yeah, that was the whole area. And they're all nice folk down there. But a lot of them are military, a lot of military folk.
Yeah, I think there's a big naval base there at Newport News.
Oh, yeah, Norfolk for sure.
Norfolk is the shipbuilding yards.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Pretty cool area of town. So if you're ever down there, or if we have any listeners down there, all right, give us a shout out. So there you go. There's my swimmer's ear. Oh, and then the night of, I go to the thing, and it's starting to get cold at night. And,
down there?
Yeah.
Even?
Yeah, it's cold at night, warmer during the day, warmish during the day.
Yeah.
So.
But see, the thing down there is it's got the humidity. It's always kind of humid because you're right by all the water.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, here we go. I got the ear thing. I'm like, I put on earmuffs, because I'm like, all right, I'm like an autistic kid with earmuffs on. I can't hear a thing. My hearing is gone now. Between the earmuffs and that, I'm down to about 10% hearing. Not 0 on this side, 10% on this side.
Oh, wow.
Although, I gotta tell you.
You kind of liked it, huh?
I like it. I like being deaf. I'm gonna say it. I like being deaf, Mike. Because here's the thing. Now, I don't know about you, or anybody out there. Do you ever listen, like, say you're sitting somewhere and you're listening to everyone else talk, and you just listen, and you're caught up in their world, and then you're caught up in your world, and you're like, oh, listen to that asshole over there. Oh, listen to those ladies. Oh, listen to him yell at her kid. Oh, listen to that kid screaming. Oh, listen to that song on the intercom.
It's a lot of information.
Coming at you.
Yeah.
Well, I was deaf.
Especially in a place like the grocery store or something like that. There's a million people.
Yeah, it was a reduced amount of stimuli. And I got to say, when I was deaf, I was like, there's something.
You could just sit there in the waiting room and flip through the magazine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I was, I'm humming to myself, do, 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 do. Yeah.
Just in your own little world.
Oh, yeah. I could have been a foreign kid. I could have said, I'm from Canada, and no one would have left me alone.
Honestly, I kind of do the same thing a lot. I always have the headphones around my ear. Oops, sorry, audio. I always have the headphones on because I'll go to like the grocery store or whatever. I'll put on the headphones and put on the Pandora or something like that.
There you go.
I'm not hearing anything of the outside world. I'm just moving through there in my own little bubble.
Yeah, and you've got theme music to do that, to
Right.
do your task. You're creating theme music to do a task.
You know me, I'll put on the thrash and it'll be like, we're moving through here quick. We got things to go and things to do and see and, let's go.
That's the move.
Go, go,
I
go.
know. I didn't realize how encumbered my brain was by peripheral noise.
Just all the extraneous bullshit noise,
Yes.
useless noise.
And I used to laugh at it, because say there'd be some weird homeless guy, ranting over in the corner, and then I would notice, oh, little Hall & Oates on the intercom. Oh, look at that kid over there. Oh, that engine in that Honda Accord out there is grumbling. I'd have 10 different things coming at me. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just, oh, that's life in the modern age. It's a distraction. It's a complete distraction.
Yeah, I've been that way for a long time where
I got to simplify.
in my head, like, if it gets so annoying, all I hear is my voice in my head yelling, shut up!
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, it was quite liberating, and it was quite an ear opener, ear closer, eye opener. But it was quite the revelation.
Okay, so did you find, so if you took away your hearing then, did it help sharpen any other senses? Did it make you notice? Because what I find is sometimes on the TV, I just have it on mute. And so if you watch something that you're familiar with without sound, like a movie or something like that, just visually, it'll seem like the shots go on a lot longer. You can look at a lot more. You can see a lot more.
Well,
you know what I mean?
This might be the case, because here we go. We're at night. I got the earmuffs on. Somebody gets the great idea. Let's go to Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
But this is the winter time. We're talking, winter.
Off season, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to look at the pretty lights at Busch Gardens. I've been to Busch Gardens 1,000 times, but here we go.
Oh, so were they not even running the amusement park?
Well, they're running the certain rides.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you could tell. It was so cold that you're like, holy crap, these kids must be freezing their nuts off on that thing. But they're running them, but not crazy. It's all lights. It's all Santa themed.
Were they running the coasters?
Not the coasters. No, they're running like the dragon thing that went back and forth.
The Da Vinci's Cradle and whatnot.
Yes, things. Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had said that you were over in Germany at the beer fest.
Oh yeah. I texted you.
I know that. I remember when we were kids. When I was embezzling every dollar I got to buy a rat pedal, a distortion pedal.
Yeah.
That was where I was at with Eric. We were there in the Oktoberfest beer hall. That's what it's called.
That's what it is. Yep.
And he was like buying food, and I'm like, hey, let me have some of your pizza. He's like, why don't you buy pizza? I'm like, I can't. I need this money to buy a distortion pedal.
Right.
I remember the Oktoberfest beer hall. Yeah.
And
that's where it was.
It's literally the same.
It's the same.
They had a Christmas act going on. They come out. These kids get out there and sing and dance.
Well, if you notice, they do it the old school German stuff. It'll be like
stages in the middle, and then the tables are around it.
Oh yeah, and it's a pretty big hall.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they'll put up like old style like Christmas trees with like birds in them and stuff like that. And like stars.
They had a festival of trees inside there, it felt like.
Oh, did they?
All kinds of things, lights. They spared no expense on the lights. Everywhere you looked was Christmas.
Because my parents loved that whole Williamsburg area, and you guys probably didn't do it, but yeah, you go around Christmas time, you go over into the restored area where they got all the houses and shit. So they used to put candles in the windows.
Oh yeah.
And it's all fucking lit up. And if it does snow, it gets like a light snow. Like they don't deal with it well in Northern Virginia. Like they don't have snow tires and shit.
No. But it started getting cold, and it was to the point where it's like, all right, this isn't fun anymore. I'm like, oh fuck. So,
did the wind kick up a little bit or something?
No, it's just when you're walking around outside, you're freezing your nuts off. And
It's very
let's go to this gift shop.
It's very open there because it's Busch Gardens. Yeah.
And like, got to warm up because it's 10 degrees warmer in there, but still cold in there. But, so you're going from gift shop to gift shop. You could definitely see your breath. Now, my hearing isn't working good, so things are taking longer. Remember how you said, do things take longer? Well, we got roped into, you go into the stage area, and it's like an amphitheater, and we're sitting at the amphitheater.
Oh, is this over in the Italy section, the Europe section?
Correct.
Yeah.
And there we are, big stage, big production. Out come the Ice-Capades version. Oh, it's like la 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 la.
On ice? Do they actually have
ice? They had a full ice thing.
Really?
Oh, I gotta say these kids were pretty good. These kids on the ice. Especially the kids started off acting like he was falling on the ice, almost like a young duckling getting up and learning how to skate.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. He's actually acting like he doesn't know how to skate, but he's learning how to skate.
Yeah.
You're watching it. Incredible. Kids are talented. Definitely kids are talented. but cold as fucking. I'm sitting there like, "Ugh," and I'm leaning into the girlfriend. I'm like, Ixnay, let's hurry up. And you're waiting. And then they're going through the Christmas. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa. And here comes the reindeer. And you're waiting for the whole thing. The whole thing's going down. You're like, and when you're freezing and time's going by slow and I can't really hear much, and you're just waiting for like, all right, come on. On Donner, on Blitzen, on Donner. Come on, keep it. Hurry up, but let's go. I know how it ends. Let's go. You're trying to rush them along. It's like, that's it. I broke. We're out of here. We gotta go. Let's run. Frozen. There, I wanted to get something to drink. These some bitches, here's another rant. Rant number 3. DeSanti water. How much do you think a bottle of water was?
$6.
Close. Yeah. $5.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. $5.99 for a 12-ounce bottle of McDonald's water.
It's captive audience. And how big was the water bottle?
12 ounces.
12 ounces, yeah. I know. It's like, yeah.
I literally was like, I was so thirsty too, and I just go, I gotta use the bathroom. I go in the bathroom, pour water in the bathroom. Yeah. I'm like a caveman drinking water out of my hands.
Yeah, like old school 70s kid style.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
It's like I'm thirsty, just walk up to somebody's house, turn on the spigot, fucking drink it.
And I have money. I can definitely afford it. It's just a matter of principle. I'm not giving you $6 for a fucking water. Fuck off.
If it's gonna be $6 for Dasani, at least give me a fucking good sized bottle.
Yeah, not none of this 12 ouncer shit.
No, at least 24 ounces. Come on. What are we doing?
I was that one I didn't even really say anything. That was just my own personal gripe. That's when I started getting.
I know. Oh, man.
Because I don't want to sound like a stingy, because they're drinking. So the couple we were with and the girlfriend, she's drinking. They're drinking. So they're getting their, we're gonna get a Bud Light for 16-ounce Bud Light, $12.99. They're doing shots of fucking Jameson for $14.99. It's like, Jesus, you guys are kooky.
But to a certain degree, that's why, like, when I travel with my girlfriend, I pay for logistics. I pay for us getting there. I pay for baggage fees, taxis, that sort of shit. Once we get there, I don't deal with money at all because it'll make me nuts.
It makes me
nuts. At a certain, it's like if you got money budgeted, like it's fun money. Like I used to go to the hockey games a lot when I was first moved to Arizona.
Hockey games are fun.
I had a boss who him and his buddy had a sports memorabilia business. So ancillary to that, they had season tickets to everything. So all the time he was like, hey, I got hockey tickets for the game tonight. You want to go? Because he's like, I'm not going to go to the hockey game. And so my brother was always down to go to the hockey game. So we were going down to the hockey game so often that we got familiar with the security guards and where all the doors were and the smoking areas.
And you know where the better concession stands are because there's always one concession stand where you go, hey, they got so-and-so on draft for $1 cheaper than the rest.
No, it was always like, there's nobody here. It's at like we would sit in section 222, and it was like at the ass end of the stadium, so everybody was always down here.
Right, and so the bathroom
and there was a smoking door that went right out to the parking ramp. You know what I mean? So it was like we were pretty comfortable with it.
I like that. I like when you know the ins and outs.
But basically, back then it was $4 for the beer, I don't know, 16-ounce beer.
That's not bad at all.
And so I would basically budget. It was like $20 or $40. Like that was my budget for going out. That's the money to spend. So if I got a beer per period, that's 12 $12. Parking was like a couple of bucks. I think it was like $20. It was like $20 was my fun money. Gonna write it off.
Oh,
and so it could be that sort of situation where if they're like, we're going out with my friends, we're gonna have fun. If we spend $100, I don't care.
Here's the newest rifling. What they do, how they pants you. Parking.
Oh yeah.
Now they had the couple we were with. They had these passes, which were yearly passes to Busch Gardens.
The annual pass.
So that was included in it. Had we be Joe Schmo off the street, we would have paid. Get this, $28 to park. $28 for a fucking parking place.
Man, that's a racket.
What a fucking racket. Between
per car.
Between that and the water, it was stewing on me all night. And I'm like lost. And now I'm deaf. I'm in my own world. I'm stewing. And everyone's having a good time. And I'm like, all right. The intrinsic value of that, I'm looking at the intrinsic value of that. Oh. That's a 300% markup there. shoot ahead to a week later, I'm in my head, and I can't get over the fact everything's expensive. We know everything's expensive.
Oh, man.
Duh. There should be a limit on the intrinsic value of something. They should not be able to charge it's like that Martin Shkreli charging 5,000% for the AIDS drug. Remember that asshole?
Yeah.
It's that. You can't charge $6 for a water that is essential, let alone, that's why they ride it at Woodstock 99.
That's what I was going to say. That was the whole thing they did with those Woodstocks back in the day it's captive audience. It's the same thing where like, you can get like a Big Mac for, I don't know what Big Macs go for, let's say $6.
Right.
But the same thing at the airport McDonald's is going to be $9. Why? Because you're trapped in the airport and there's no other choice.
Pet peeve, rant.
Yeah.
There goes my big rant. Here we go. That's it. I know. I'm gonna go fucking
And then it's
postal.
like places like McDonald's are like, oh, nobody comes to McDonald's. Sales are down. We don't understand why. People are making healthier choices. It's like, your food isn't worth that.
Yeah, and to go to the Chicago airport and pay fucking $18 for a Big Mac or Subway is like,
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine places like Chicago or New York City or something like that.
Yeah, it should just be across the board. Certain things should just have a certain fucking, like this cup of coffee. Now, I get Starbucks is charging out the butthole. Now, this is $3.95 for a cup of coffee, but this coffee should, let's just say with the parts and labor, right, $2. But you have the right to go 100%, so it shouldn't be more than $4. But I mean, I bet if we were in the middle of fucking LA right now, this would be $14.
Or the Starbucks that's like in the middle of Lower Manhattan, right on what's that, Times Square or whatever.
Oh yeah, $14.
Yeah, $14 easy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It shouldn't be something. Just because where you're at should not dictate what something costs. That was kind of my rant.
But that's the whole reason behind all this, like, price gouging and bullshit, because it's captive audience.
Yeah.
Like, they know that you don't have any other alternative. It's like on the airplane. Like, if you want a beer on the airplane,
God,
do they charge for those? I don't know.
Sometimes I've been
sometimes
charged,
they do,
been
and
not
sometimes
charged.
they don't. Yeah, I know.
It's weird. Yeah, there's a weird catch-all. But I will say, I've been in first class before. No. But when you're second class, they'll be like, here, would you like your 12-ounce beer? And then they give you the little tumbler cup, and they pour it for you, and here's your tumbler cup. And then they walk away with the rest of the can. You're like, I paid for that can.
I don't even...
Bring it back here, sister.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I so don't even enjoy it. Like, you guys know, you guys know, I like to drink my fucking Bud Light with ice cubes. And to apologize... I'm not going to do that anymore.
Show upgrade, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that where I'm swigging it out of this guy with the ice cubes in it, because it makes a hell of a lot of noise. And sorry.
One of our favorite VIP listeners pointed that out.
So yeah, so we're not going to do that anymore to make a bunch of fucking
hint, wink, wink, wink.
Bunch of ear noise.
Yeah.
Ear assaulting. So
ear assaulting, ear rape.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, but like on an airplane, like if they come around and they got the beer, whatever, it's like, it's not even cold enough for me. So then I don't even enjoy it. So at that point, I don't even want it.
No, I didn't like drinking when I was flying a lot, I didn't really drink too much on the airplane. I would do the wine, but only on the late night flights.
My girlfriend will get a glass of the white wine. She'll drink that. She'll cozy in. Just fall asleep, man.
Yeah,
she'll sleep the whole
But beer-wise,
flight.
no, because I had a beer thirst in those days, and there's no way. It's going to take me about 7 to get plowed here, and
no, it's not about getting plowed. I've never gotten plowed. Well,
you ever have a layover and you sat there? Like I remember sitting in a Chicago airport once, maybe Philadelphia airport, and like
I can beat you there. My dad cashed in some frequent flyer miles and had me and my brother, fly from Arizona out to Williamsburg, where my parents were living, for Christmas. And so me and Eric, we had like a 2-hour layover in Pittsburgh Airport.
That's
we found
a good
like a TGI Fridays that allowed smoking.
Oh.
And there was a Pittsburgh Penguins game on TV.
Oh.
We sat there slugging beers, smoking cigarettes, watching Penguins on TV for like 2 hours. We were buzzed when we got on that plane.
Oh, you did all the Pittsburgh thing. Next, all you got to do is stick the fries right on the hamburger, and you're good to go.
It was like we were like best layover ever. I mean, you can't complain.
No.
You can't complain.
No, especially and you having your brother there. Every time I've done a layover, I've been by myself, so I can't. Getting drunk by yourself is a little lonely in an airport.
Makes you feel like a loser. Can I just say? A lot of times it can make you feel like a loser if you're feeling lonely at the moment. But there are some times where it's like, nobody knows how trashed I am.
Well, there's that. I always like talking to the stranger. There's always some wacky person who's in the same situation, and I always have a great conversation.
I enjoyed the shit out of that in fucking England. When I was over in the UK, man, oh man, I love talking to them. They'd be like, you're an American. And I'm like, yeah. They were always surprised. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why are you here? And I'm like, because it's England. They're like, yeah, but there's nothing going on here. And I'm like, no, the history. And they're like, oh, that.
Oh, history.
It was so goddamn funny. Because going to Brazil, I can't speak Portuguese. I couldn't at the time. I can a little bit now because I've been fucking working at it for several years. But I couldn't at the time. So when I was down there, I'm literally just smiling and nodding.
Yeah.
Like, and we would party down there and get trashed. And there were people down there that wanted to talk to me. And they would talk to me, and I would try so hard to pick out any word, Like, I had a little bit of Spanish in high school and shit, but it's inscrutable, man.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
I know.
I know. I digress. I don't know how.
I liked the airport, though. I like traveling. I'm a big fan of it. I like being in a car. I just like traveling.
I want to say, to your point, traveling alone. I do have a problem traveling alone.
Really? Other than Tina, she's a great traveler with me.
Right.
But if you're traveling with the wrong person, it's a nightmare. But if you got a good traveling mate, it's great.
But I
like to buy myself.
My girlfriend's like a professional traveler. Like, I'm a gear guy. If I got money, I'm going to buy gear. If she's got money, she's going somewhere. She likes going places and stuff. So she's good to do it with. And plus, me and her are really good at like making a plan and then executing the plan and stuff like that. And like the way we handle the money when we travel and stuff like that. Because I told her it's going to make me nuts where I'm going to feel like I'm hemorrhaging money if every time I'm turning around, we're fucking spending money. So that's why whenever we're where we're at, I don't deal with the money.
All right.
She'll be like, hey, let's get a drink. I go, all right. And she'll be like, hey, let's get food. All right.
Yeah.
I don't look at the money. I don't ask how much shit costs. I don't care. It's not my department.
Yeah, we don't really have, her and I don't discuss it. It's kind of like, I could just tell if like, all right, she's paid for things a couple times. All right, my turn to pony up. And then I pull my card out for the second day, and then the third day maybe she pulls the card out.
Now
we can tell when it's getting weighted to one side.
Yeah, and we'll do that if it's like a road trippy situation. You know what I mean? Like when we're driving across the country or whatever. We did that when we did the move, but like I was just covering everything at that point. It was credit carding it all.
I like traveling by myself though. There was a certain anonymity factor when I was by myself a lot. You could almost imagine like being back in the 70s or the early 80s when those old guys would like, oh, I'm just going to change my name and start a new family. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that was the thing that would start to mess with my head is just how sort of like no one here is paying attention to me. No one here knows me.
I could be anybody.
I could be anybody. I could say anything. No one's going to contradict anything. Nobody knows me at all. And there are sometimes where, and this is just me, like I'll get to where like I'll feel like I'm intruding on the airport, all the other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's just a me thing, and
I liked it because it would get rid of my ego. Like when I'm in Erie and I'm around, I kind of have a tendency like, oh, you don't know who I am. Oh, come on.
Do you know who I am? Nobody knows me.
No, I never say who I am. But I think that in my head there's a sense of, oh, I've been here 1,000 times. I know what to do. But, you plot me in the middle of, the Charlotte airport, and I'm anybody. So.
Well, that was the whole thing when I was living out in Arizona.
Let's just be the best version of me, anonymous me I can be.
Yeah, when I was out in Arizona, it was like that, I don't know nobody. Nobody knows me. No, it's not like I'm going to be anywhere and somebody's going to be like, hey, Mike. That's not going to happen.
Nothing. Your history is zero. Zero currency with history. So your currency is what you're about to lay on them.
And the funny thing is, being back here in Erie now, I feel that same thing where it's like, I can go anywhere. I'm never going to see anybody that knows me anywhere.
Yeah?
Yep, I feel that way. Even though, when I was working at the hardware store when I first got back into town, that paid off really well. I ran into so many people from back
Because you're at a True Value hardware store.
No, Value Home Center.
Value Home Center, yeah.
Yeah, completely different thing. But yeah, like I ran into like people I used to jam with, people from high school, like so many people,
That's a forum where you would, though, hardware store. And at least a hardware store, it's not super embarrassing. It's not like they ran into you, Yeah.
No, especially if they come in
smart.
there and they're looking for some shit and they're like, oh, I got this problem, I'm trying to solve it. And I'm like, I'm hooking you up, buddy. I got you taken care of.
I know.
Come on over here. You don't want that. You want to come on over.
The hardware store would be a fun job if they paid more.
It was.
Yeah, because it's like, that's right up your alley. You're a tinkerer, you like tools, you like things like that, you like solving problems. That's the perfect forum for you, except for they didn't pay.
Yeah, I took to it like a duck to water. And I didn't mind it. Like, whether I was like working the floor or working the cash register. I could stand there at the register all day, ring stuff up, and make with the chit chat. I could work the floor. You used to
tell me though, you're like, oh, my ankles hurt, my feet hurt, because you're on your feet all day.
Well, that was because I think I broke my heel. Back in Arizona before I moved out here.
Yeah.
So I moved out here in like March or something like that. That October, it was like a week before Halloween. I was going to the grocery store. I was wearing flip-flops out, and there's like the rocks, and then there's like the sidewalk.
Yeah.
When I stepped from the rocks to the sidewalks, a rock kicked out under my foot and was on the sidewalk.
Oh, God.
And I didn't see it, and I came down full force, and it was right in front of my heel bone.
And it was an actual flip-flop, like the kind in between the toes and the...
Yep.
Oh, those are lame.
Yep. And my heel hurt so bad. So it might have been broken. So that whole time, packing up the house, moving, everything... I had to fucking bump.
Yeah, and you were just on such an adrenaline rush because you had to move and da-da-da.
No, it hurt, but I had to go.
You muscled through, huh?
And same thing with
that. Is it hurting now? Like
hardware
these days? No.
No. So it got to the point where I used to come home from standing on the floor at the hardware store. I would be literally crippled. I would get home from, I'm not kidding, I would get home from work at like 9 o'clock. I would have to triage myself all night to be able to physically stand straight and make it to work in the morning.
Wow. Did you wrap yourself with the ace bandage and everything like that?
No, but it was like I would sit down and like not move and stuff like that. I would only get up like once.
Yeah, you might have had something. I mean, if it was broken, you would have known, but you definitely had something kinked.
Yeah.
A stretch or kink
Yeah, and it was like, and it was all tied up in the feet and the tendons on the bottom of the feet and the tendons going up the back of your calf. So they were all just like super tight and all jacked up, and it sucked, man. It was painful working like 8-hour shifts on the floor.
Yeah, on the feet.
Because when I first started, I was doing like part-time stuff. So I'd go down there and work for like 4 hours. That was just like, oh, I'm gonna pop down, hang out, see what's doing.
Yeah.
Worked for like 4 hours, and I was like, all right, have fun. Like you didn't have to but when you're working full-time, you're either opening or closing, which I always liked opening.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Because it's always a few people in the morning, and never really gets going until 10 or 11. By then, you're almost halfway through your day,
Yeah.
Because the mornings are sort of quiet.
Closing's kind of depression.
Closing gets to be like, it'd be like 6 minutes till there's like nobody. We haven't had anybody for like 20 minutes. Like, can we just lock the door?
Yeah, I remember
no.
when I worked at a record store, that feeling of we're closing, and then last minute, there's always somebody who comes on and, I need the thing. The retail closing, and you're waiting for them to balance out the cash register while you're standing around like, okay, I'm the witness, all right.
Yeah, we had, we got like closing up procedures where we were like, a couple of people would dust mop the whole floors or whatever. Somebody else would take out all the trash. And then we had like security procedures where it's like everybody leaves at one time. We all make sure that the door is locked. We all watch that the doors are locked.
Yeah, security, yeah.
So we all go out together to our cars and that sort of shit.
That's good. Company-wide.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. It was a fun job, but
if they would have paid, you would have been there.
Yeah, but
I know. Well, here we go. Guess what? We gotta make a right turn, Clyde.
Sorry.
Oh, that's left turn, Clyde.
Check 1, 2.
Right turn. What do you got? A booger in your throat there? Are you hacking up the fur ball there?
Tis the season.
Huh?
Tis the season.
Yeah. So, well, that's my rant. I had about 5 rants in there, but that's all right. I'm back to normal, getting back to normal, kind of deaf here, so if I'm talking weird or loud, that's fine. But I did a list. This was my week for the list there, Mike-a-roo.
All right.
Lickety, splickety, do has the kick.
All right. Hang on, let me top off my drinkarina.
Let's do it. No jingle jangle. Oh, that might be loud enough for people, though. Some people, I don't know. I don't like the sound of the things pouring. Oh, there it is. Clink, clink. Oh, our VIP listener is going to be like wanting to kill us. Okay.
But we weren't saying anything, so I can cut it out in the edit.
Leave it. Leave it this round. But that's the last time you'll hear that. All right, I have this, but we'll save that for next week. Guess what we got today? Today's list, the best and worst.
Top 5, bottom 5.
Well, the best to play with, the most dangerous toys, not the band, dangerous toys we played with as kids, best to play with, but they're dangerous, or the worst, that were no fun and completely dangerous. Now, we're going to start this, because the obvious is going to go, everyone's yelling at the screen right now when you say this, the most dangerous toys you had as kids. We're all going to say the jart.
Yeah, the lawn darts.
The lawn jart, which you had a plastic hoop, you had a plastic hoop, we'd throw it up in the air, and it was like a weighted dart.
Yeah. And they used to have like a big metal spike on the tip.
Oh.
And I remember, like, we didn't have them. The next door neighbors had them. And I thought they were cool as shit. I was like, we need to play that. That looks fun.
Yeah.
So my parents got like the wimpy version of it where they were like plastic molded. It was like a fireball and it had like a handle, but it was just like plastic. And
it was like a bobber.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't darts.
No, they weren't because the dart things, they had the big metal tip, and then they had the shaft, and then they had these like 3 wings that were coming out.
Yeah, they were plastic
so you take
and
them
heavy.
And, like, chuck it in the air, and it would turn over, and then whoom,
and they were weighted.
The
Yeah, because I remember throwing those, just like at a tree or something like that, and they were weighted. So that's number 5. They're fun to play with. Number 5 and dangerous.
Wait, which list are we doing? Top.
We're gonna do the best. We'll do the best.
Top 5.
They were the best to play with, most dangerous. Yeah, that was 5 jarts.
Say top 5.
Top 5.
All right, there we go.
Top 5.
Number 5.
All right, jarts. Number 4. I put these two together because they're kind of similar. You gotta admit, the slingshot wrist rocket.
Dude, did you say these are toys?
That was a toy.
That was not a toy.
That was a toy.
That's a weapon.
Well, I mean, yeah, our parents didn't think so, but we thought, we're gonna be a little scamp with the old wrist rocket, and we're gonna.
Did you ever have one?
Oh yeah, I had one that had a complete counterbalance on the wrist.
Wrist brace?
Yeah, man, I'd never hit anything tangible. We used to. I was shooting acorns off that thing, man. They were like bullets. We would pelt the neighbor's house or the garage, and they hit an aluminum siding with velocity.
Probably a little dense.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Especially those ones
slingshot
with the wrist brace. Like you could get a lot more power out of those.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of power out of those. Yeah, that was quite dangerous. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think anyone bought it for me. I almost want to say I bought it myself. I think I might have went somewhere and got it and went to a Erie sports store.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you could find those at like sometimes at the sports stores and shit. And depending on where it was, because like Erie sports store over there at Liberty Plaza, they didn't give a fuck. No. But if you were up at the mall, they'd be like, "How old are you? Where's your parents?" You know?
Right. Yeah, and I couldn't have been more than 10.
Man, I almost feel like I remember you having that when we first started hanging out.
Well, by then the band would break on it, so you'd have to. There was like that rubber.
It's surgical hose.
Surgical hose, exactly. So that would come off the one side. So you'd have to figure out ways to jury rig it, and then it would, you'd tie it, and then you'd pull, and then your centerpiece would get a little off kilter.
Oh, that's right, the little leather sling.
Yeah, the sling leather would get a little off kilter. So your aim was kind of shitty, but it was still good enough for mayhem. I mean, to shoot an acorn.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, there's a list of shit that my mom never let us have.
BB guns?
Yeah, BB guns, slingshots, mini bikes.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to have BB guns either, but we had the slingshot. No one said anything about the slingshot, but BB gun, no way.
My mom was like, no way.
And it was beyond you'll shoot your eye out. This is more like you're going to shoot the neighbor kid.
Well, with me and my brother fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, no, we'll end up going to the hospital on that one.
Now, I got number 3 best. I had a lot of fun with this. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name of this fucking thing. I had to Google it. Do you remember the thing? It was like you'd put it around your. It was called the lemon twist, and it was like a lemon.
Yes.
On a string, on a rubber thing, and it would attach to your one leg, and you'd swing it like around and jump over it.
Hopscotching yourself or something.
Yeah, it was like hopscotch.
Yeah.
You had a blast with that.
Did you?
Well, until I ran out of breath or fell and tripped over myself many times, and skinned my arms and hands.
I was never good at any of those jumping balance games. I couldn't jump rope.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? Until recently, I thought it was either you had it or you didn't. I didn't know that was a skill you could develop.
What, jump rope?
Just balance.
Oh,
you know, like I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I thought you either had it or didn't. Like I couldn't skateboard. I couldn't jump rope. That thing, I could never do that thing. I could never hula hoop. Like.
I was good at the hula hoop. Yeah, I was good at the hula hoop. I was good at that lemon twist. Now the lemon twist, I don't know why they call it a lemon twist, because apparently I Googled it, and it originally had a lemon on the end. I don't remember it having a lemon. I remember mine being all orange. Mine was all orange.
No. I remember when I was a kid, it was black plastic. It had the hoop, and then it had the black leash going out. And then there was a plastic lemon on the end.
That's the lemon twist.
And it was almost like at the far end of the lemon, they had like a dial on it. So as it went around, that dial would hit the ground, and it would make like a little, like a ratchet noise or something like that.
Like a rattlesnake noise, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. And I feel like that the lemon had some little, like some little, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember noise coming out of it. I just remember hopping over it until I ran out.
They definitely had it where it had like a rattly, skipping noise aspect to it. Yeah.
The lemon twist. All right, that was kind of dangerous. Now
I remember that one.
We're going
down. I couldn't
down.
do it, but yeah.
All right, here's number 2. Well, lemon twist 3, number 2 goes, gotta hand it to it, the cap gun and the caps.
Oh, the cap gun and the caps. Yeah, I mean, you know, that was just, they came in a couple of different forms, several different formats.
Now, the early form was the red paper that unfolded,
ones.
and they had little circles on it, and the little circles had a little gunpowder on it, so it unstripped like a strip.
Yeah, it was a whole strip, and so the guns that we had back then had like a little flat plate and then a little hammer, you know, and it had like a feeding mechanism.
Yeah.
So as you went snap, 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 the red paper would start, you know, reeling up out the top of it.
Yeah. And then the dangerous part was not so much when they were in the gun. We ended up using the gun for whatever and just taking the caps and smashing them with rocks.
Yeah, smashing with rocks. Yeah.
We were randomly smashing caps.
It was more exciting to just hold the thing and try and that's fire. Hey!
Yeah. Or we'd be like, wrap this around your hand. Hold this, wrap it around a rock, and then I'd take my rock and
Yep, 100% remember that. And then I remember they started coming out with the plastic caps, where it started off with the little...
It was like a round.
Yeah, the little ring. The little ring for the little revolver pistols, right?
And they slid into the revolver like a thing where you could spin it like a revolver.
Yeah, the cylinder would fall out, or you could break it open. And I remember putting it in there, and you had to get every cap, because in the cap there was a hole, and then there was like a plunger in the middle. Yeah. And so you had to get the plastic to fit around it so that head was right on that plunger guy.
The cap gun. Yeah, the cap gun.
It wasn't a plunger. That didn't move.
Now that one was the one you're talking about was a lot more safe. And that was kind of cool too.
A little bit, yeah. And then they came out with strip versions of it.
I don't remember that.
Those, I had a Walther PPK, which is the James Bond gun, that had a clip. And you would take the strips of those little red plastic ones that were in the circle. Then they were in a strip. And the ends, they had like a little tab guy, so you could hook them together, and then you could feed them into the clip, and it would go down and then wrap around the clip. So then you could be like, clap, 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 clap.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's bigger ones for the rifles.
Wait, and those cap guns, I had a fucking Colt 45 automatic of those. And I remember when it shot the caps, just like the paper ones, the expended cap would come out the top.
Yeah.
But these ones, they had like a little slicer in there. So it would cut them and eject them like a spent shell casing.
Wow.
It was dope. My mom hated it because the little fucking red guys would be all over the
And
carpet.
in our day, they didn't put guns look kind of real. Like I remember having
When
like
we
a
were
fake
kids-
shotgun kind of thing.
Yeah, they didn't put those orange caps on until the 80s.
yeah, we had some real ass guns. And I remember the snub-nosed revolver. Mine looked like the old, like a revolver.
Yeah.
And then the
Bulldog,
long Colt with the cowboy gun.
Cowboy gun. Yeah, man. Man, when we were kids, man, me and my brother, like, we had a box in the garage full of fucking toy guns.
Yeah.
We had rifles. I had an M60 that had a belt of fucking bullets that went through it.
Yeah,
It was great.
I know, when you think about it, I think I did. I think I had an extra toy box with just guns and weapons.
And even from down in Williamsburg, to call it back to earlier, we had fucking musket rifles and fucking musket pistols from down there. I had a fucking a pirate pistol that once again would do the paper caps.
Yeah.
That had two hammers. It was a double barrel fucking pirate pistol.
Oh.
It was dope.
So number two, the cap gun, dangerous but fun. Oh,
because the
God.
biggest danger was because, like I said, we didn't have the orange caps, so the biggest, the orange plugs on the ends. So the biggest danger was actually getting shot by somebody with a real gun back when we were kids.
The fact we were kids, no one took us seriously. But I always thought to myself, if I was an adult, I could literally rob a store with it. Like my snub nose, I remember thinking, this looks kind of real.
Dude, that later 45 automatic that I had, actually that one had a little plug in the barrel with a little cross on it. But that one, like, you could like pull it out, put the clip in, and
Yeah, there was always those
Honestly,
urban myth stories of
that's like
people
those-
robbing with.
that's like those airsoft guns these days.
Yeah.
The airsoft guns are nuts.
And you got the most dangerous toy of them all, hootin' a riot. We loved it all. Number one, I had to put it number one, the firecracker,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is basically explosives.
yeah.
Let's give our children explosives. That'll work out good.
Dude, did I ever tell you about the street festival we went to in Brazil? We went to this street festival in Brazil, man. Everybody's drinking, dancing. They got a band playing. They got every speaker in town hooked up together. It's so fucking loud. It's nuts. Everybody's partying. Everybody's hammered. They're lighting off fireworks. The 3-year-old has the lighter. The 5-year-old is setting up the the fireworks. Because
Fucking full mortars, like
they're the
mortar.
kids, little kids. Kid in diapers had the lighter. And his sister, that was like probably 2 years older, she was like bringing over the things, and the kid would light it, and then she'd take it, and then she'd go throw it over there, and blow shit up. Nobody else is playing with the explosives. The kids play with the explosives because it's
Hey,
safer.
can you light this lighter up?
So they teach them early, man. Yeah, it's nuts. But fireworks, firecrackers, all that sort of shit. Now, my parents never let us play with them. My parents were never into it. When we were kids, I don't know when they started changing these fucking laws with the fireworks. Like,
Well, Pennsylvania was always I think in the 70s it was legal.
no. In the 70s, when we were kids, the only thing that was legal was sparklers and the snakes.
Oh yeah, the melt black snakes.
That was it.
And the
maybe
poppers.
later ladyfingers, yeah.
Yeah, ladyfingers were small,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember, but they were easy to find.
Yeah, I remember
Somebody would
getting them at
always
country
be selling them
fair.
in school. Yeah, somebody come in the lunchroom
Yeah.
and just be like, "Hey, I got firecrackers for sale," and
I
we
remember
could
the
gather
little
around.
box, the little bag, the sawdust inside. I remember.
Yeah, and they looked like little half crayons.
Yeah, I remember just squeezing them between my fingers. Pop.
I love the firecracker though. There's nothing funnier than is when you'd set off a pack of firecrackers and watch. scare
Oh,
the
a whole
Christ out
pack?
of some-
Yeah.
Oh, I love setting
Yeah.
off a whole pack at once.
Yeah, and I remember people that had some stuff and setting some stuff off, but I never got any, I never bought any. Now, we were definitely around places that had it. Like, if you go down to the border between North Carolina and South Carolina, there's a store called South of the Border. Man,
Oh, those Southern kids probably.
You could load up on-
Yeah, the Southerners.
all sorts of explosives and,
Yeah.
fireworks and shit there. Like, down south, they love that shit.
Yeah, because I remember that. I think they were legal when we used to go to vacations in Florida. And I want to say like in Orlando and down that way in Tampa, that area was always kind of legal, it seemed, because me and Chris were like, wow, I can't believe how are we going to get this on the plane? We're not going to get it on the plane. So we never did. So there it is, number one. We got honorable mentions. But
Yeah, that's true. Let's recap real quick. So these are the best toys to play with that are the funnest, but they're all dangerous.
dangerous toys.
And as the fun increases, the danger increases.
Exactly. Which
Now-
was 5, the jarts.
Right?
Number 4 was the slingshot.
Yeah.
Number 3 was the lemon twist.
Yeah.
Number 2 was the cap gun.
Yeah, caps, yeah.
Number 1, the firecracker.
Firecrackers, yeah, or the low-level explosives.
Now,
yeah.
honorable mention on here, I didn't make the list, but it could have. The pogo stick was pretty fucking scary.
To the same point, the pogo stick and trampoline. I mean,
I
with
forgot
the
about the
bouncing,
trampoline.
jumping,
Yeah.
like there's all sorts of invitations to
Yeah,
danger.
that was a
Did you
broken
know
arm
that's the
waiting
name
to
of my
happen.
autobiography, Invitation to Danger?
Wow. Yeah. Available on Amazon.
Yeah, coming out this fall. Bantam Books.
All right, now the worst list that were no fun, and they were still dangerous.
No fun and still
Zero
dangerous.
fun, horrible toys, but they're still dangerous.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this. 'Cause I have no idea where you're going with it.
Well, I went number 5
All right.
with Stretch Armstrong. Zero fun.
Yeah.
You want to know the danger with that one?
What is the danger?
Well, my brother used to bite into that fucking thing, and that
Yikes.
would shoot some weird toxic goo. And it smelled strange too. It smelled like burnt rubber.
Oh man, yeah, petroleum waste byproduct.
Who knows what that goo was?
Wow. Like literally, it could be like the most toxic shit ever, and they're like, stuff it inside a toy.
Yeah, Stretch Armstrong. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were kids, asbestos was common, lead paint was common.
Yeah, well, lead paint was on the way out, but it was definitely left over from
So
the
was
70s.
asbestos, but shit was still around.
Yeah, asbestos was an 80s thing in the ceilings, but yeah, that was there. Who knows with some of the paints and the dyes? We act like we don't look, but I'm sure.
Well, it was because we were coming out of the house paints with the lead paints in the houses.
Yes.
And then there was the lead paints in the toys. That was a later thing.
Well, speaking of toxic, that goes into number 4. Guess what was toxic?
What a segue.
Oh, the Shrinky Dink.
Well, I love the Shrinky Dinks.
Oh, that
They
stunk.
were pointless.
Oh, they stunk.
They were the dumbest things. So I remember Shrinky Dinks being this piece of like acetate, like clear plastic.
Yeah.
And it would have like
paint 'em.
cartoon characters like silkscreened on them in just black. And then you would paint on the colors. So you were like being like a cell painter for cartoons.
Yeah.
Then you cut them out, laid them on a baking sheet, and when you cooked them in the oven, they would shrink down to like 1/5 the size or something.
Yeah, they would just shrink.
They would shrink down to a tiny little plastic cartoon character all painted up. Because it was like, it was easier to paint when it was larger, and then you cook it and it shrink down. I don't know. It was the dumbest thing.
And the toxic smell, I remember
Yeah,
my
'cause you're
mom
cooking plastic.
And we'd have to get our parents involved because there's an oven involved.
Yeah.
So there's no doing it on your own. It's like,
And-
Mom, I'm done with my Shrinky Dinks. Can you bake them?
And for all you kids, those 70s ovens were inscrutable.
Yeah, they'd heat the house up.
They all had like, to turn it on and run it, it was some sort of push timer that it looked like 4 dials for clocks. It was,
Yeah, and you'd have to preheat it, and there'd always be some weird chemical in it because your mom would spray the inside of it with some weird
the
chemical.
easy off, the oven cleaner.
Yeah, the easy off oven cleaner
Yeah.
would reek through the house, and then you're
yeah.
adding Shrinky Dinks, which were toxic on its own right in there. And yeah, I think my dad banned the Shrinky Dink because of the smell. He's like,
Yeah,
I don't like the smell.
I remember thinking that they were fun when I was a kid, but I don't think we did them more than 1 year.
Yeah, I think I got away with maybe 3 tops, but my dad banned them. We got banned. The Shrinky Dink got banned.
I remember, just random here, it's not dangerous, but I remember the Shrinky Dinks got replaced by color forms. Remember color forms?
Yeah, those were just like clear. They would stick right on. Those were like not Presto Magics, but they were those things that stuck.
The Presto Magics were funny too. Yeah. The color forms where they would have like there was like a backdrop. It was
Yeah.
like making cartoons. There was like a backdrop.
It was a clear vellum.
No, it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. They were like solid colors.
Oh, yeah.
But there would be like the orange parts and the blue parts and the green parts. Then you could take little different parts and you could put them on the thing.
Sure.
And sometimes they stuck and sometimes they didn't.
And you didn't need to bake them. I don't understand the baking part.
You didn't bake them, you didn't shrink them.
Yeah, horrible.
No.
Worst Troy. Here's number 3, dangerous. This got real dangerous in my household. I don't know about yours.
But also not fun.
And not fun because you couldn't build anything with them because they were the erector set.
Oh, you didn't. No, so
We couldn't build anything with the erector set. We tried building frames. Okay, we're going to make a skyscraper. Okay, put the skyscraper. And it would have screws. Now, the erector
Yeah, yeah.
set was kind of like girders.
yeah.
And they would have little screws, and they were metal, and they were sharp. None of them were sanded, so you could cut your fingers. And they were definitely projectiles after me and Chris were fighting. And we were just basically throwing metal rods at each other.
That's specifically why my parents never got us an erector. We never had an erector set. I've never played with an erector set.
Yeah, it was basically metal shop. Yeah. Unacceptable. And you couldn't build anything tangible out of it. Like,
I think I asked about it once when I was like 7 or 8. I think my parents actually like scoffed at me. I think my dad was like, "Yeah, that's not happening."
Yeah. And then you couldn't get much like the Lincoln log. You can't make nothing.
We had Lincoln logs. Yeah, you can make a log cabin. That was about
That's it. Yeah, they just stacked one on top. The Lincoln logs were terrible.
You make a ranch fence.
Yeah, those were just basically glorified projectiles. So you and your brother.
They were literally a
them at
step
each
up
other.
from the wooden blocks you had in preschool.
Yeah. The Lincoln log was a better projectile. Okay, so there's number 3, the erector set. Okay, here's number 2. We're getting the most horrible.
Dangerous with no fun.
Oh, the danger was high on this sucker. The electric football field. Do you remember electric football? Oh, you're confused.
No.
You plugged it into the wall, and it was a metal rectangle like a football field, and it would vibrate and it would go.
Oh, and the
you put
players would just randomly move around. Oh, I do remember that. We never had that. Was that dangerous?
Yeah, it created a weird static electricity field for one, because your shirt would be, your hair would be standing straight up, and then you mix that with a glass of Kool-Aid, and you're asking to get for it's like spilling Kool-Aid, your hair standing sideways.
Wow.
And this thing made a noise that was like,
it's like a Tesla coil.
Oh yeah,
it had to be like a Tesla coil. Like all it was needing was like the goalpost to like arc out from one to the other.
I remember being in the basement and I was like bored, and I plugged it in and it was like, and the lights dimmed in the house. And my dad was like, "What are you doing down there?"
Yeah.
I was like, I unplugged it from the wall, and never touched it again.
Yeah, holy shit.
It scared the Christ out of me. It was scary. I thought it was going to blow the house up.
Oh, man.
But I remember the static electricity it would make, too. Like
really?
The tingling on my arms and my hair sticking up like a balloon. Like when you combed your hair with a balloon.
You know that's dangerous.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man.
They got rid of electric football.
Wow.
And here's my number 1 for the most dangerous, let alone worst toy in the world. The clacker.
The clacker?
It was the string with the 2 balls on it that you went, and the 2 balls would clack together, and then not only did it end up being a bolo that you would throw at your brother, you would be like, clack, 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 coot, and they would hit you in the head.
So you're talking where it's actually 2 wooden balls and then a string connecting them.
That was it.
And you hold them and then they clack together. All right.
They're called clackers.
I never really saw that one. I saw the plastic version where it was a plastic stick and then it had the 2 clackers and they were on.
Oh, the stick version. Yeah, that was the nicer version.
Yeah.
I had the wood ball ones, which were like almost like mini pool balls.
Yeah, that's like, if I... So when I was a kid, I was obsessed with, you know those bolos that they use where it's like 3 strings tied together with like balls on the end of it and they take one of them and and it would wrap around shit?
Chris threw a pair of clackers at me like a bolo in the backyard like that.
Yeah.
And it hurt like a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tell you that part.
He took me down with it.
Wow. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Now, the other thing that we had that was sort of like that was we had the old school wooden cup on a handle with the string and then the wooden ball.
Oh, yeah.
And you flip it up and you catch
but that wasn't really dangerous.
No, it wasn't really dangerous other than the bottom of the handle was pointy and, it was like a wooden thing and, I definitely...
And you could definitely conk yourself on the head if you did it in a car or something. I remember fucking with one of those in a car.
No, it was usually directed at my brother.
Yeah. Now, the clacker goes hand in hand, almost borderline with the yo-yo, but the yo-yo was popular. So the yo-yo, you could control the yo-yo, but you definitely...
I was terrible at the yo-yo.
Yeah, I wasn't any good. I mean, short of making a cradle, I couldn't do anything with the yo-yo.
Making the cradle.
The triangle cradle, making it swing.
I remember that shit.
Yeah. Did you ever have the yo-yo guy come to your school, and do they're like the Globetrotters of yo-yos?
We went to the same school.
Yeah. Well, you went to Chestnut Hill. They probably came to Chestnut Hill, right?
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Well, I went to Grover Cleveland up until 4th grade, and then I went to Chestnut Hill.
Oh, so that's why you weren't there in elementary.
Yeah.
You sort of more showed up in J.S. Wilson
Yeah,
school days.
yeah. But the yo-yo, the yo-yo didn't make the list because it wasn't very dangerous. It was dangerous if, we've all thrown a yo-yo at somebody.
It was as dangerous as a brick or a rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, you could throw it, it'll be dangerous. A pencil would be.
Yeah, but people respected the yo-yo, so you didn't disrespect the yo-yo by throwing it. You know, we all had respect for the yo-yo.
Oh my God.
Yo-yo.
I had an incident with a fucking sharpened pencil at one point.
Oh yeah, throwing it.
No, my mom had this electric pencil sharpener that was dope, and it made shit so sharp. And I fucking sharpened a pencil, and I don't know what it was. I was sitting. Remember those lazy boy chairs we had? I was sitting in one of those lazy boy chairs, and the pencil had fallen down next to me, and I didn't realize it. And I was like in bare feet, and I went to get up, and the pencil got jammed into my heel.
Oh, so you had a lead injection?
Yeah, it was like a lead-colored spot on the bottom of my foot.
Mom, I got Ticonderoga #2 in my heel.
Oh my God, it hurt. It was like it impaled. It was like, ah.
Damn you, Ticonderoga.
Yeah, it was a #2.
So yeah, that was it for my list. Dangerous toys. I got a couple.
Dangerous toys.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Now two that didn't make the list but were dangerous equal. The Easy Bake Oven, pretty dangerous.
Yeah, the Easy Bake Oven is just sort of inherently dangerous.
Yeah, because you heated things up with a light bulb.
Yeah.
And then you'd make like a weird powdery goo in a metal tray.
And at the end, you ingest it.
Yeah. Not good. And then, of course, the sit and spin was pretty dangerous too.
Did you think?
Well, mine was always broken. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember why and how it got broken, but we always had a broken sit and spin.
You know why? Because one of you was
pile.
on it, and then the other was trying to take one of you off.
So, but I remember thinking, it's kind of dangerous. But that didn't make the list, so whatever.
Wait, hang on. What broke on it?
I don't remember. I just remembered always just being off kilter. Okay. Like it was never level.
So that's probably because it got thrown.
I don't even know.
So I remember that shit when I was like a little kid, like before riding a bike.
Yeah, but same here. But it would survive and it'd be in your toy pile in the basement. So you'd see it in the corner and be like, oh, I have a sit and spin. Or it'd be like having a big wheel and you go, I got an old big wheel over there.
I don't know. I feel like we had to sit and spin like when we were like toddlers to like 4 years old, and my dad's like, you don't need that.
No, I know. Well, I think we had a larger one. I remember having a pretty big. It was pretty big, or unless I was tiny then. But I don't know. It seemed.
I know. I remember the whole thing when I was a kid, like sitting on, and then you were basically pulling on that steering wheel to make yourself spin the other way.
Yeah.
I remember doing it and stuff, but I guess we had one. But boy, we were like little kids.
Yeah. So that was it. Dangerous toys.
Oh
Good
wait,
list.
so I want to throw dangerous toy in there, which I never had. I don't know that anybody in our generation ever had, but the generation like before us had.
Okay.
Which was the at-home science kit.
I almost added that, but that's kind of vague because who knows? Yeah, there's always like, build the volcano kit. That was weird. The volcano, and then there was like the growing spiders or the.
Yeah, I actually saw a video where Jeff Dunham was talking about he actually had his actual science kit from when he was a kid with all the chemicals and stuff.
Wow.
He's like I used to make shit smoke. I used to make shit explode. I used to burn holes in the tabletops.
Yeah, I guess it could have made it. Yeah, I just
those 50s, 60s science kits that would give you actual chemicals and shit. Like by the time we were growing up in the 70s, these were like ABC News was having like dangerous toys. Don't get your kids these model rockets. Model rockets were dangerous
my brother
toys.
did the model rockets. Yeah,
I never did model rockets. I didn't get it. I thought it was dumb.
He did it.
It's like M80s in a cardboard tube. I didn't see the.
Yeah, but the science kit, you're
but that
right.
was the sort of shit in the 50s
like
and 60s.
Magnesium phosphate and a thing in a beaker full of sodium whatever, and you're like, oh, what?
It was like magnesium, and they're like, don't get it wet. And they're like, why? What happens? And it's like fucking, burns at like 1,300 degrees.
Yeah. Oh. You can melt off your epidermis.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It'll burn right through to your bone.
Yeah. That could have made the list, but I never had it, so I don't.
I never had it either. That was like before our time. Like there was a whole class of toys before our time that I never had. Like we never had GI Joes.
Oh, I had G.I. Joes.
Like we had the little like 3 3/4
Oh, no, I had the
ones that
big
came
ones.
out
I
in
had
the
the
80s.
big G.I. Joes.
No, we never had those.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
No, but my parents had these friends. Their kids were like 10 years older. Because my parents waited 10 years before they had kids. So all their friends' kids were like 10 years older than us. So we go over to their house and they're like, oh, the kids can play with the other kids' toys. They never play with the toys anymore. They're teenagers now. So we'd play with like their like G.I. Joes and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, look at all the shit and all the stuff and the
Yeah,
rifles
you're right.
and
Because I think I
boots
hit the cusp right. I was playing with my brother had leftover G.I. Joes, and I think I got the leftover ones. I was right at the cusp.
Yeah, Chris was probably right at the cusp when he got when he was a kid.
Yeah. Because I remember having the $6 Million Man
No,
doll.
I remember those ones. Yeah, those large ones. I had.
But he worked with the larger G.I. Joe. Same size.
That's right. It was that 11-inch format.
Yeah.
I remember having the Steve Austin, Oscar Goldman, and Bigfoot.
Yeah, and the Bigfoot, yeah.
Was there any other ones? Was it just
the
those
woman.
three? Yeah, well, the Bionic Woman, the Jamie Summers.
Woman, yeah. I don't think there was. Well, no, and then there's the Steve Austin with the eye. The back of his head.
Yeah, the eye, and then he had the grippy thing, and you could roll back the skin on
you
his
roll
arm.
back and you'd see the bionic arm.
Yeah, I think that was about it.
Yeah, I don't remember the Bigfoot.
I feel like the Bigfoot had one of the same sort of thing.
We never had the big. My friend down the road had a Bigfoot.
I had the Bigfoot. He had this gripping action. It was really just like rubber bands on the shoulders.
Really?
And then I think he had the eye thing too, where you could like look through the back of his head and see through it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not dangerous, but still fun toys. We'll get to fun toys some other time. But that was dangerous toys, so there you go.
That was fun because a lot of those I didn't have. Because like I said, my parents were like not into like a BB gun. Like they'd be like, they would just laugh.
Yeah.
Like it was like not even a consideration at all.
But I'm still astounded at the use of, well, for me, fireworks were all right. We couldn't have a BB gun, but I could have a slingshot. I could have a fake gun, but I couldn't have a BB gun.
I can't believe they let you. I mean, slingshots in my house were in the same category as like switchblades and you know.
Maybe my parents
potato
didn't
guns.
know I had a slingshot because I bought it on my own. So maybe it was just one of those things since I was kind of free roaming, maybe they just didn't know I had
But
it.
it's almost such classic kid stuff. You probably had your slingshot stashed with your comic books, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I put it in a backpack, and then I had I remember having a Ziploc full of acorns. I'd go around. I'd spend a whole day collecting acorns, fill up a backpack full of acorns just to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun list, guys.
All right. Yeah, that was
Good
fun.
Shlicketty
I
do.
enjoyed that because I didn't know where you were going with it.
All right. Well, have a good day, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see your lists. Post it down there, guys. Bye.